What's up, guys? Welcome back. Sorry if I haven't posted in a long time. So as you can see, I got my sesh harness. So all this wiring is going to be for sale. If anyone is interested, I could ship as well. So I'm gonna have to start taking off this piece with the grill, take out my rad, flush everything again, take out the battery, take out all the wiring, also take out the intake manifold, seeing that the harness comes with the whole harness, the complete harness. It's one piece. I'm gonna have to take out as well from the fuse box all the engine compartment wiring. The only thing that you need to keep is your ignition signal from your harness. So I'm gonna be posting a picture in the video later on, or even on my Instagram if you guys want to check it out. It's gonna be on the fuse box. You're gonna have to keep the whole harness. So I'm gonna show you fast what it looks like. So this is the plug. It's a white plug. Comes with the relay. This piece as well. And it connects to your starter. So you could get signal without having to bypass anything. You just plug this in, should start the car. Another thing that you would consider buying, seeing that the sesh harness does not supply it. For the fans, the original mk2 harness has the fan control module. So once I get rid of my my wiring harness, I won't be able to do it. Won't be able to use it. So S&P supplies, it's basically a fan control module. It's with a relay. There's your switch right here. The wiring is already there. And when you go on their website, before you purchase, it actually tells you how to install it properly. It's only a couple of wires. There's only 4 wires that you would have to install. It's not really a big deal. The sesh harness came out to shipping and everything close to 800 Canadian. And the fan control relay costed me not too far from 80 bucks Canadian. Yeah, so this is gonna be another project that I'm gonna have to do so I could get rid of all this wiring. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take out the fender and pass it through the fender, seeing I did not buy the extended version of the harness, because they have the extended version and the regular version. I don't feel like splicing up a new wiring harness to just extend it a bit more, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pass it through the fender or I'm just gonna stick to the original route. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Alright guys, so I got everything off. Intake manifolds off so I could have reached my injectors. I took out my rad with my fan, headlights. The whole wiring harness is off. As you can see, my old wiring harness right here. It's complete. Wiring harness is off. Intake manifold. My sesh harness is there. I'm gonna do a little cleanup now. I still kept a couple of things, like power wire going to the starter. I'm gonna be changing it because I have the one that connects from the alternator to the starter to the battery. I got in contact with Eurowise, since they sell the sesh harness as well, and I asked them if I could have passed mine through my fender, and they said it wouldn't reach and I would have to splice wires, so that's out of the picture. So I'm just gonna be passing it like the regular harness. Got everything else done. Just gotta clean up the gasket a bit. The valve cover it's full of oil, so I'm gonna clean that up. Everything's out. My headlight wiring harness, I'm probably gonna be changing it, seeing that the sesh harness doesn't come with the lighting, well, the whole accessory harness. So I'm gonna have to change that because I'm still gonna need my wipers, my horn, my headlights. And in Montreal, the cops are very strict on modified cars, in quotations. So I'm gonna have to get that done. I'm gonna clean up the engine bay a bit. There's all kinds of leaves. I fell from the tree that was parked for a while. So this is where I'm at right now. Everything's there. My rad's there. I'm gonna have to change out the switch and put in the new switch. Okay, so this is the harness. When you unbox it, you get your instruction manuals with 2 stickers. You get this. It's an adapter. You could splice into your harness, and if I'm not mistaken, you could buy the adapter that goes for your cluster. So this is for the cluster. Take out that. And this is your harness. Let's see what this is. So there's another sticker for sure. Another sticker. And this explains to you what's what. What's cool about this is that everything is labeled and they tell you what you need, right? Okay. I opened the box when I got it. I was too excited, so I'm gonna show you what everything is. Just give me 1 second. So this is for the fuel pump, to send power to the fuel pump right here. Then you have your battery positive. Comes with already the fuse socket in it. Didn't check if there's a fuse in there. Yeah, there's already a fuse, which is good. Everything is supplied by Sesh, and the quality is very good. The wiring loom, brand new connectors. As we go forward, you have your ground, your EFI relay, your fuel pump relay, you have your oxygen sensor. Everything is labeled, so you can't go wrong. It even comes with the OBD2 port to scan your car. Like mine, my old harness, I didn't have this, and it was a big trouble for me because I always had to back probe the PCM. Actually, I have it laying around. So I went to a local scrapyard, and I got this off of a Mark IV. I always had to back probe this to my PCM to see what was wrong with my car. Kind of a shitty way to do that, so I'm not gonna be needing that anymore. This was the plug that I was talking to you about, right here. Plugs into here. It's your auxiliary plug, so you could plug it in and get all your info from like your oil pressure sensor, your coolant temp, everything is labeled, so it's pretty good. Then you have your ECU plug. This for the fuel pump. Went through all this. Knock sensor, crank sensor, your VSS, crank sensor too. You have your cam sensor, you have your coil pack right here, your temperature sensor, this intake air temp. Literally, I love that everything is labeled. It saves so much time. Like, I just want you to see the quality of this. Like, it's literally like OEM. Honestly, I'm really happy with the purchase. These are all your injectors. Everything is labeled. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything is, it's honestly, I can't complain. So it's gonna be fun now to install all this. Too bad I couldn't route it through my fender. It would have been nice, but I guess it is what it is. So this is the whole harness. This is gonna go through the car to my fuel pump in the trunk. This is your battery, which I'm very surprised it's very long. So it's just this part here is not long enough to do the wire tuck, and I really don't want to damage this. It's in mint condition, it's brand new, so I don't think it's the smartest thing to do to just start cutting up brand new wiring harnesses. What a difference, like if you compare. Don't forget, this came out of a 98, so look at that. It's like really like old school, you know, like plus it's for sure been spliced into a couple of times by previous owners or people that did swaps as well. Like, I don't know the history behind it, but when you have brand new, you can't go wrong. It's in perfect condition. So the hardest part for all this is inside the car, is gonna be wiring everything inside, because it's really hot now and I hate working on my hands and knees. But here's where it's gonna be the easiest, because everything is labeled, right? Like, you have your cam sensor, you have your coil pack, your coolant sensors, intake air temp sensor right here. You have your oil sensors, you have your cam sensor, your knock sensor one, and you have your crank sensor. Then in the back right there, that's your knock sensor. Then in behind you have another knock sensor there too. Then obviously your battery, your ground. You don't really need much for the engine bay. It's mostly the interior that's going to be a hassle, because I'm going to have to use this ignition harness. As you can see in there, you're going to have to use the ignition harness off of either your old harness, or if you could just find yourself someone just selling that. But it's really hard. I didn't splice into this. I had already a Mark 3 vr6 harness at my house, So I just spliced that one there up, and it was already spliced into, so I didn't really bother me to do it. But the greatest part of this brand new harness is not having to deal with, is it this one? Oh, is this anymore? I'm pretty sure all VR6 owners had a history with this, and my personal experience, it's garbage. You have so many problems with this, it's crazy. Like, everything gets corroded. Your car won't start one day because of this. And I had a couple of old friends that worked at Volkswagen, and they said when the VR6 was still around, this was their biggest problem. So happy I'm not using this anymore. Guys, I'm not sponsored by Sesh. I'm just doing an unboxing, showing you how I'm gonna be installing everything. I'm giving my review on it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not getting sponsored. I'm not getting paid by this. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Vidad mk2. He did a Sesh harness installed, but he got the extended version, and he routed everything through his fender. He had to make a hole just about here to pass it inside. Honestly, it's going to be really clean. I'm very happy for him, and he explains everything, like he's very like in detail. You guys should go check him out, Vidad mk2 on YouTube. He also has Instagram. He does a whole review. He tells you what you need. Honestly, I'm really happy about this purchase, but the hardest part is reinstalling everything. Alright guys, I'll get back to you once I get it started. Alright guys, I passed the wiring harness. You see everything is pretty clean. Passed it from the holes in the back, brought it there on the side. Attached it with some tie wraps. The tricky part is inside here. As you can see, it's a mess. Get ready to be fighting with that, but I found a way, because I passed it over the bracket in the back near the steering shaft, and it's just hanging there. So I have the piece that goes under the steering wheel, made a hole, so I'm gonna pass the wires through there, and I'm gonna put my ECU through there. I'm just gonna have to shave inside the plastic so it's gonna fit properly. Then this wire here is supposed to go to the fuel tank for the fuel pump, but I already have a wire passed from the fuel pump, so I'm just gonna attach that, put it together. I wasn't capable of doing the clean look there, but I tried, so this is what I got at the end. It's not that bad. I'm gonna sand that down a bit, paint it. Now I just have left to put the relay kit, the fan relay kit. Install the trigger wire for the starter, ground the fuse box, put everything back. Then I'm gonna have to take out from the mk3 harness that I have at my house. I'm gonna have to take out the flasher and the horn harness, so I won't have a problem with that. I'm gonna have to splice in also for my reverse lights to work. So this is where I got so far.